I tried really hard to make it to Epiphany, which is January 6th, with my Christmas decorations up. However, I was surprised by how much of a challenge that actually was. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a good challenge, but simply the idea of just having to sit and be still, which obviously is what Scripture tells us to do, be still and know that I am God, and I will make my name exalted throughout all the earth. However, it's not easy. And, I think most of us who have ever been in a period of waiting can relate to that. So I did have a hard time, especially with all of like the Christmas clutter from gifts and stuff, not to sound ungrateful, but, it's just an addition to the inventory within our home post Christmas. So with all of that going on, plus all of the Christmas decor up, I was just kind of feeling like we were drowning a little bit and continuously tripping over things. And I just at some point said, it's been a really fun challenge. Like that's what I would consider this Christmas tide, 12 days of Christmas, starting on Christmas Day and running through January 6th versus trying to do them beforehand. I would consider it a beautiful challenge, in my opinion. That's how I have perceived it, at least this first run at it. Maybe as the years go by, it'll get easier, but if I had to guess in this sense of it, that probably won't be the case, because I don't think waiting will ever get easier, or at least it never has in my life up to this point. Maybe I'm turning 30 this year, maybe with a new decade of life, I'll gain wisdom and patience in that way, but thus far, that's not been the case. But at the same time, I kind of thought that I was going to need to prep my daughter Rosie, who you see right here. She's 3. I kind of thought that I was going to have to prep her a little bit ahead of time, and like, okay, we're taking down our Christmas decor. It's going to go away until next year, and then we'll bring it back out, and it'll be exciting again. And I have a 19-month-old. If you're new here, her name's Annie, but obviously she's not really like old enough to grasp the putting up and taking down of Christmas decor yet. I mean, she thinks it's fun and something different, but it's not something that she gets nearly as into yet as the 3-year-old does. So I thought that I was going to have to prep Rosie for a little bit of this. But as soon as I started introducing the idea to her of like my grandmother taking down her Christmas decor, because we go over there most days, she was all about it. She was like, we take down our Christmas tree. We take down our Christmas tree. And so I said, well, yes, we're going to take ours down soon as well. We'll get to that. And I was just in my bedroom trying to work on some content, and she came running in there to me and was like, I take all the ornaments down off the tree. And I was like, you can start taking some ornaments off, but please be careful. Like any that you can't get to, let me know and I'll come help. She said, okay. And then she ran out. And when she came back, she was like, I done. So I went to see, and she was nowhere near done, but I guess that she just wanted me to get out there. And before I knew it, we were like diving into the deep end. We were full in on this thing. So it was definitely more than I signed up for during this nap time of Annie's, but we got the ball rolling, and good thing, because I did not want to have to do all of this in one day, especially with 2 small children. And it was stressful enough spreading it out over about 4 days. So I'm grateful that she got the ball rolling and got me up off my behind to get to it. But it's also just interesting to me how, like, I've always been one that, I think a lot of people are like this. You're just kind of overstimulated by the time Christmas comes to an end, and getting the Christmas decor down just feels like you can breathe again. And even as a 3-year-old, I feel like she's already kind of like intuitive in that way. I don't know if all kids are like that, but I just love seeing that through her. She shows me a lot of those things through like our home. Like if I rearrange a room or if I clean a room, she is very observant of those things, and she's very quick to recognize them and to call them out and to tell me if she likes them or not. And I don't know if it's something within her that like she's been uniquely wired to enjoy the art of homemaking as well. I don't want to push that on her by any means, but I'm just very interested to see how she continues to grow, and also how Annie continues to grow. Like if these are things that she notices and picks up on, or if she could care less, because so far they are very, very different in their personalities. So it's very fun in motherhood, getting to watch your kids grow up into the things that, I never could have taught them, but simply like who they are by nature. And then also helping to nurture those things and like fan the flame within them to see where they end up in life. It's so thrilling to me. So as much as I felt like I was breathing easier with each item that came down from decor, I also am getting all kinds of ideas for different things that I would like to implement around our home, like not necessarily functionality this time, but aesthetically. There's just so many things that we've lived here for almost 2 years now. It's like 1.5 years, but we started renovating almost 2 years ago exactly. So getting to really put our stamp on it. Maybe at some point I'll do like a before and after of our house. I don't have video footage from that time, but I have a lot of pictures that I've saved over the last couple of years because there's just such a transformation. Like several of these rooms in our home were gutted down to studs and then like rebuilt back, and I would say like 90% of our house has been thanks to the hard work and craftsmanship of people in our family, just that have these skills, and we're so willing to commit the time to fix this house for us. We're extremely blessed. But anyways, now that we've been in this house for a couple of years almost, it's really like I've loved settling in and keeping things simple in order to best understand kind of how the house works for us as a family, what room serves what purpose, and all of those things as far as functionality goes. And I know that that's going to continue evolving as our girls are growing so quickly and their interests are changing and their needs are changing and all of these kinds of things. But I've just had this burning desire for probably like 6 or 8 months now to paint walls all over my house, or I'm just a lover of color. Like I love the simplicity in white and wood tones, and I will definitely keep that on some scale. But my heart is definitely cottage style. Like you mix and match some patterns, throw in some wallpaper. We did add this board and batten, and like I hand drew the wallpaper above it. So I have so many visions, and I'm just trying to figure out what I want best, because when I commit to something, I want it to be something that lasts. So I'm also like within me wrestling already in the new year to find contentment in our home. Like, not that I want a different home. I told Nicholas plenty of times we could live here for the rest of our lives and I would be content just making it our own. He does not feel that way, however. But my point being, I'm really striving hard to just sit and be still, to not continue like wanting and searching and reaching for more every single second of every single day. I want to pace myself and be thankful for how far we've come and where we're at, and then allow things to naturally transform, allow things to naturally decorate themselves, as my husband says. He tries to encourage me in this, but poor thing, there's just really not a ton of hope. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, and unfortunately that's just kind of the case for me. I mean, there have been so many times, I say so many, but there have been numerous occasions where I was working from home before we had kids, or while our first was in daycare, and I was working from home and would have like a slower day at work or whatever, and Nicholas would come home and I had painted a wall blue, or I had added plaid grid lines to our laundry room with great paint. There have just been so many occasions that we could both tell you about where this is not a new thing for me. Even the hand-drawn wallpaper here, I did one day last fall because I was just feeling kind of down and out and needed a creative outlet. This was before my YouTube days, and so maybe this is going to become a much more productive outlet for me and keep my hands out of the paint buckets quite so much. But one of the very, honestly, if we're being serious now, one of the very practical reminders that I've been preaching to myself over and over especially as I'm taking things down here, but just kind of as I'm resetting from all of the holiday crazy and hosting and things of the last month or so, is that if I can't manage the current inventory that we have well in our home, then I don't need to be spending my time on all of these other things like home decor or whatever. Like, I clean my own house, I manage our own pantry and ingredients, cook our own food. Like, I do these things myself, and so I'm just looking around my home, and things that just need attention have not been getting it because of all the other demands of life, which is fine. Like some seasons that's just the case. But if in my mind, if I can't keep the salt and pepper shakers filled, if I can't keep toilet paper stocked in the bathroom, if I can't keep paper towels on our bulk pantry shelves so that when we run out we can replace them very quickly and not have to use like disposable napkins, then what am I doing? Like my priorities are not aligned and not in the right place if that's the case continuously. So in the same sense, I've been really trying to put away Christmas decor in a super organized fashion. So in the past, we had used just like large cardboard boxes that we had access to, and I didn't want to waste money on totes when we had boxes and they were fine. But it does make such a difference in the ease of getting things out and putting things back up. So I've really tried to take care this year and be super organized with it so that moving forward, I know what my inventory for Christmas decor is. And if I add to it, that's okay, but I'm not like duplicating things that I don't mean to duplicate. And on that same note, if you're interested, I have linked my Amazon wish list for Christmas decor 2024 down below in the description box. These are just some things that as I'm packing up Christmas, brainstorming for next year, I want to be mindful of and think through what some good additions might be, but it's nothing over the top. I definitely have a more vintage and classic, hopefully timeless style of like red and gold. And so you'll see a lot of those things kind of match up with that, but just wanted to share that with you in case you are interested. And then lastly, I know that we're like 7 days into the new year now, and that kind of feels like all of the New Year's resolutions and goal planning is obsolete a little bit, because that's just how culture is these days. It's like if you're not 2 months ahead, then you're behind. But if anyone is still trying to think through your plans for this year or for each month, and you just kind of need a guide and a strategy, like a game plan to get you going and to get your thoughts out on paper, I've created some like downloadable printable templates that I have linked in the description box below as well. I'll be listing them on my Etsy site, which has been dormant for a little bit. I used to do a lot of custom embroidery stuff, namely people's wedding bouquets. I would embroider those and had great fun doing that, but life just doesn't give me the time that it demands and requires right now. So hopefully one day I'll get back to that. But for now, I'm using it more as a sales channel for these templates that I'm creating. So if this is something that you might find useful, you can see them here on the screen, but I have an annual goal planner, a monthly goal planner, which is the same thing but broken down by month, obviously. And then I also have a garden planner, which is a 2-page document, but you can, once you purchase these, you can print as many as you need. So it's not like you have to continue paying for each one. Obviously, you can use as many as your little heart desires, and I hope that they bring you such organization and just such clarity. I have some ideas for other ones that I want to get out as well, but I don't know for sure that I'll have those completed before this video goes live. So I don't necessarily want to mention those yet until I know for sure that I have them ready. But if I do have them by the time this video goes up, then I will have them linked below as well. So that might just be a nice little treat for you. But anyways, I'm so glad that you came along with me today. I'm looking forward to this new year and all that it may bring. I hope that you have had a wonderful, refreshing start to your new year. And if not, that it just improves from here, that if the only way that it can go is up, that's exactly what it would do starting today. And as always, I just hope that you know, here on my channel, I'm not trying to encourage you to spend money. I'm not trying to encourage you to want more or to need more. Like, the goal here is always contentment, and that's just what I've always found by watching other people work around their homes. Watching fellow homemakers on YouTube is how I found so much encouragement in my days of, even whenever I was working full-time, being a homemaker. And it just always encouraged me and motivated my heart so much to do well with what I had in front of me and to be a faithful steward. So I hope that that's always what you find here. I know that based on my analytics, there's women of all ages that kind of watch this. So I'm not necessarily speaking to people my age. I'm not necessarily speaking only to people older than me or younger than me. It's all of us in this together. So thank you so much for coming along. I'm so excited for how this is growing, and prayerfully and hopefully how it will continue to grow. I hope you have a great day wherever you're at, and I'll catch you next time. Bye guys.